Hi, my name is Mark Kariotis, and I wanted to start off by saying it's great to be here as a part of Successfest and stress the importance of providing meaningful support for our youth as they transition into adulthood. I'm a certified peer specialist for the Department of Mental Health, Central Mass area Canton site. I work in the Canton and surrounding area. I'm a person with lived experience and certified by training to support people with same or similar experiences. I've been a certified peer specialist since 2014. This is a huge part of my own recovery story, and I'm evidence that recovery happens. We can turn our struggles to successes and finding the life we want and desire. We can empower ourselves to grow beyond our struggles. Part of my job at the Department of Mental Health has been to provide individualized support. This is an amazing part of my work, walking alongside others on their path, not just watching them grow, but growing together through the process of change as we recover. People like John, who you'll meet later in this presentation. Another part of my role providing peer services has been a growing relationship with Kiva centers in Worcester, developing community supports in Canton and the surrounding towns in our catchment. It was a pleasure to start this project co-facilitating a Kiva Centers group at Neponset River House. The group is called Power of Positivity, and I could not say enough about what a pleasure it was to become part of such a rich, supportive clubhouse like Neponset River House. As attendance grew, Jason Wright, a certified peer specialist from Riverside Community Care, and I started a new group. We called the group Peers Connect, a group that really says it all in the title. It's all about connecting with others. The group had anywhere from 10 to 21 participants at any given time and included people from all walks of life who came together. Do Recovery Anonymous is another huge part of my life and my recovery. The Massachusetts Clubhouse Coalition is another organization that I partnered with to help to provide access to Do Recovery Anonymous, a 12-step fellowship for people who want support with substance misuse and mental health issues. All are welcome to attend to find value in a group like this. I need to say, I can't speak about Do Recovery Anonymous or the Massachusetts Clubhouse Coalition without thanking Val Comerford, Julie Sprinkle, Paul McLani, and of course, Reva Stein, and all DRA members and facilitators for all their hard work. Together, we can. When the pandemic hit, we were lucky to have connections with the young and talented, tech-savvy generation that included Brandon and Rudy from NRH and many other people that played an integral part of keeping us all connected. We brainstormed and were able to start online meetings and duplicate the support that the community valued. We were in the process of change, but it wasn't holding us back. We welcomed the new age of peer support. Also, with the support of the Mass Clubhouse Coalition and members of the Dual Recovery Anonymous Fellowship as a collective, we were able to be up and running on this new platform in the digital age and not only duplicate meetings, transitioning them to the new online platform, but grow our fellowship across the state, reaching more people who can benefit from Dual Recovery Anonymous. 30 plus online supports accessible to anyone with a smartphone or computer. Resources for DMAs and all these great partners will be provided later on during the presentation. Thank you so much.
Here on a peer support visit with my friend John, and today we're going to talk about peer support and the benefits of peer support and John's experience. So I'd love to hear from John. How you doing, John? It's good to see you today.
How are you?
Very good, thanks.
Yeah.
So would you like to share your experience about peer support and what you found helpful and just generally your experience?
My experience with peer support has been very good. It's probably been one of the best experiences I've ever had working in the mental health system. I've had advocates before and counselors before, and I think peer support is probably the best I've had. because they really get involved with what you want to accomplish, and they really care about what you've been going through and everything like that, much more than a regular clinician does.
Do you think that's because we have the connection of lived experience?
Yes. Yeah. They have the same experiences, and there's more of a connection between, because more like a friendship instead of a doctor or a clinician or something like that.
Does peer support help you with the other supporters and conversations you have with them, and does it help? Does it empower you to kind of have a voice in the system?
Yes, it helps me focus on what I need and what I want, and everyone usually agrees with it. And
excellent.
Yeah.
So if you were to wrap up, and if somebody was watching this video and they said, what about peer support, what would you say?
I think it's excellent, and everyone should try it.
I'm here with John and Jason Wright, who is also a peer specialist for Riverside Community Care. Jason, what kind of peer support have you participated in?
Group support, one-on-one support, events where we get together and talk about our, learn from each other. And I think those are important. Honestly, the most important thing for me is just being around peers, just being around people who experience the same things that I've experienced. Something similar.
What was peer support like for you pre-COVID and then going into COVID-19? And what was that transition like, Jason?
So before COVID, we were doing one-on-one peer support. We could go basically anywhere. We could walk around parks and play basketball and do all those kind of things, and go in people's houses. The only thing now is we have to wear masks, and you can still hang outside. It's a beautiful day out, and I'm double vaccinated, so that's nice. So I feel a lot more protected, and I'm wearing a mask for other people because I want to protect them. And I don't know, it's not too different except for the masks and the social distancing. Other than that, we can still go for walks at Blue Hills and still do the same things. We can't have library meetings and stuff like that, but we'll figure it out. We'll have park meetings, The thing about peer support, we're super, we adapt. We're adaptable. We just figure stuff out, So you can't go inside to a library or something. Let's have a big communal walk in the park. Just get some exercise. And COVID's been tough on a lot of people.
It's definitely good to be out with other peers, and I feel like this COVID-19, the pandemic, the huge asset of having peer support is we got through it together. We all were going through the same thing, and I appreciate that.
I received peer support from Mark. At first, we started going out. It started inspiring me to go to other groups and to meet other people. I went to Peers Connect. We went there at the library, and I met Jason and other people who I can relate to.
I'm hearing, John, that you've received individual peer support. You've also been to group peer support.
Yes.
And I think those are great examples of the peer support we have in the community.
If I can speak on that for a second, John, I think that seeing you at Peers Connect and everything, I've just seen you grown so far from where you at when you went to the art gallery and stuff, and you showcased your art, and everyone was like, oh my God, that's amazing art. And now COVID's happened, and you really flourished through it, and you're doing great stuff. You're taking care of yourself. I think you're doing a really great work, and I'm really happy that you're in our community, definitely.
Jason, that's really great, and I agree. Can you talk about the peer support that you find valuable, that you've participated in?
Honestly, peer support is good one-on-one, but I love being a peer support specialist and growing from people, but I love group peer support as well, I like different forms of peer support, but I really enjoy just getting together with a community of people, whether it's one-on-one or just a group of people, and just talking about what's going on. And it might not even be anything serious. It might just be a discussion about books and movies and stuff, and then all of a sudden we go into life, and that is life. I don't know if you normally get that with other types of mental health services. We're just people with lived experience, and we're just talking to people without an agenda. It's mutual respect.
They help you develop you as a whole person. What your interests are, the whole body, like wellness. Your creativity, your talents.
Pre-COVID, we used to get together in groups, in libraries, and go to parks and stuff like that. Now we have to just social distance and be outside, which is beautiful, because like on rainy days, who wants to be outside, and on sunny days, just hang out like with a mask on, 4, 5, 6 feet away from each other. And you know, pre-COVID, it was just like this, you know, except for I'm wearing a mask now, and we kind of have to just be careful of regulations, like, because I don't want to get John sick, he doesn't want to get me sick, you know, but I'm also double vaccinated, so I feel like sort of safe now, a little bit safe, and I feel like actually like this is actually lifting a little bit, and I'm actually hopeful for the future.
Great. Now, John, thank you so much, Jason. John, how about you? How do you feel about peer support and where it's going? Do you feel supported during COVID, and do you feel like we're going into a new era of peer support with things changing and the way things are with the pandemic?
Yes. I mean, I think it's very good that they have a vaccine.
We didn't really miss a beat. Like we went online like
Yeah.
the day of our shutdown. Like we figured out how to support people, because people need support right now. I needed support. I mean, our community lost a peer in this during this during this event. I feel like it's important. Like our community is so important, and we need to grow it. You know, and honestly, now where we're at, like we can start. We've gotten through it. You know, like we're getting through it, and we got through it together. And in fact, it built us. Our not only peer support specialists built a stronger community, but also peers, you know, peers built a stronger community together. You know, peer support specialists learn how to adapt to technology and stuff. There's like digital peer support now, but together we like just learned how to get through this. Because like on March 13th, man, like last year when everything shut down, it was just like, what happened? And we just had to figure it out, you know?
And we did. So peer support, COVID-19, getting it through it together. Thank you, guys, and thank you, Successfest.
Hi, I'm Emmett Vorspanstein from Neponset River House, a clubhouse under Riverside Community Care, located in Norwood, Mass. For anyone unfamiliar with the clubhouse model, it's non-clinical, employment, and relationship-based. It's often said that in a clubhouse, it's difficult to tell who's staff and who's a member attending the club. In fact, 2 of our standards, which are the Bill of Rights set by our governing body, Clubhouse International, say that all meetings are accessible to both members and staff, and there are no staff-only or member-only spaces. The commitment made in these 2 standards is part of what makes Clubhouse so great, but it also made it that much more jarring when in March, NRH had to close our doors to all members. Neponset River House is usually bustling, but for the first time, I and other staff had the experience of walking through a completely empty clubhouse. Yet we still had a whole community relying on each other and the services that we provide. So like many others, NRH had to come up with new interpretations of the word space. We realized that despite all the terrible impacts of this virus, which we all know so well, there could be a silver lining. Clubhouse is different from many other mental health programs in that we serve all those aged 18 and up, from young adults to seniors. In the midst of a pandemic that forced us to rely increasingly on technology, this posed both challenges for those with less tech savvy, but also opportunities for young adults looking to step into new leadership roles. For years, young adults have been told to get off their phones and go outside, but suddenly the roles were reversed. Many young adults are uniquely equipped to work in this new and strange environment, and it's their elders, whether they be fellow members or staff, who can learn a thing or two from them. In the scramble to move our services online, staff had to learn how to use Zoom and shift our daily and weekly meetings virtual. We relied on our membership, especially our young adults, to facilitate multiple meetings every day, record and edit videos for our YouTube channel, and do outreach through Facebook and other messenger platforms. Young adults made flyers advertising our new and constantly updating COVID-19 protocols, and generally helped those with less tech savvy. In addition, as you'll hear from some of these young adults themselves, many of them continued to work, attend school, or complete independent certifications, and some even began new positions or started school during the pandemic. While it took the whole NRH community coming together to get us through this difficult time, we owe a huge debt to our young adults who stepped up as leaders and used their know-how to keep things running smoothly against all odds. We really couldn't have done it without them. Now here are some young adults from Neponset River House to talk about their experiences.
I've been a member of the Neponset River House and involved in peer support with Riverside since the summer of 2017. What I want to say to Successfest is that peer support has been crucial to my recovery over the last 4 years and even before that. I'll start by saying that the Hearing Voices Network, a peer-based support resource, used to be the only type of counseling I was willing to get and that I responded to. Since joining NRH and more decisively beginning my recovery, the Clubhouse has been a place to go that is non-clinical and peer-based, and this has been essential. It's a place where I can relate to other members and staff and have opportunities to get involved and flourish. It's a place where we use non-clinical language, and therapeutic and member relationships are thus like friendships. Everyone, members and staff, are on an equal level, and one really feels this being there. The Clubhouse hosts regular activities like socials, events and field trips, open mics, support groups, and softball, and all of these are performed in an inviting and supportive way. At the same time, if you can't make these and want just to stop in for lunch, that is fine too. Whatever you want to get out of the Clubhouse, it is there for you. During the pandemic, I've actually gotten closer to and more involved in the Clubhouse. I know this isn't the case for everyone, but virtual meetings are convenient for me and have helped me expand my opportunities and become closer to other members and staff. For instance, I now co-facilitate a bi-weekly writers workshop with NRH, which is both an arts and a support group, informal and members-based. Running this has really improved my writing and counseling skills and increased my self-esteem. I would never have had this opportunity if not for NRH. I'm also currently enrolled in UMass Boston as a master's student, getting an MS in mental health counseling. Despite class being virtual, I've actually learned a lot and improved many skills. Peer support in the Clubhouse have given me a break from work and helped me to become a better member of the community, to practice counseling techniques with others, to get to know mental health with others who have experience, and to support the cause of justice and equity for which I continue to work. All in all, I've really thrived in my recovery thanks to NRH and peer support before and during the pandemic. From the moment I first met my peer counselor in 2017, I knew it was right for me, and it turned out to be some of the best counseling and support I've ever gotten. I look forward to continuing as a member for the foreseeable future and advocating for and participating in the Clubhouse model and peer support throughout my career. Even as a counselor in the future, I will strive not to lose my peerness. Thank you very much.
I started coming to the club several years ago. Right away I signed up to cook in the kitchen. I still remember the first dish I made, shepherd's pie. Within a couple months, I got the opportunity to get my ServSafe certification through the Clubhouse. Before coming to the club, I was intimidated by the kitchen. Now I cook dinner for my family almost every night. Soon after that, I became a human rights advocate at NRH. Together with my fellow members, I am now one of the 4 human rights advocates. The skills I learned taught me what rights I have so that I can help others. In part due to the skills I learned at NRH, I felt comfortable pursuing a transitional employment position, or TE. TEs are a form of employment that clubhouses help members get and maintain. In order to build their confidence to re-enter the workforce or find work for the first time, this was my first TE. I prepped for my interview at the PACT office with our employment coordinator at the time, Brett. The following winter, I rang the bell for Salvation Army. Then I got another TE at the Blue Hills snack shop, where I got to employ skills I learned working the snack bar with my friends back at NRH. Then Covid-19 hit. Our employment celebration, usually one of our biggest events of the year, had to be canceled to public health reasons. Almost all of our TEs had to be put on hold. Luckily, NRH continued to have meetings and provide support even if we couldn't come to the club physically. Prior to the pandemic, NRH took us on tours to different colleges, providing transportation and giving us the opportunity to view different colleges we might not have even known were around our area. I started taking classes at Massasoit Community College virtually before the pandemic. At the club, I became comfortable using my email in the club's Google Drive account. I also aided our assistant director Paul in writing articles for the NRH newsletter, which I later continued doing virtually during the pandemic. This year we had our first ever virtual employment celebration run by our new employment coordinator, Connor. It was awesome. He and our other peers did a great job running the whole thing virtually. Our fellow members Neil and Heather played music. I got an award for my work at Blue Hills, which I wasn't able to receive last year because the pandemic had put a hold on our employment celebration. It felt good to be awarded for my hard work.
Hello, my name is Brandon, and I have been with the Clubhouse for 2 years now. As a young adult with lived experience, I've learned so many things and connected with so many people that I cannot help but feel proud. Especially during the onset of the pandemic, I grew to be a key asset to both my own recovery and the daily functioning of the Clubhouse. I jumped straight in, finding that I was a strong, capable leader of Dual Recovery Anonymous. I impressed myself and others, such as Mark Kariotis, Julie Sprinkle, Reva Stein, and Val Comerford, as well as many others. In DRA, I am as powerful in my recovery as anyone. We are all equals. And I have proved it by speaking for the first ever digital DRA conference. Not only that, but I take a lot of the credit for being the whiz kid who helped set the plan in motion. I also became an advocate for mental health awareness at the statewide Young Adult Council meetings. That is how I became introduced to the Impact Center, with whom I have run regular social meetings, including Man Cave Mondays. Not only does this group allow me to vent my emotions, but it has given me a lot of opportunities. And if not for Impact, I might not have ever heard of the wonderful GIFT program. Gathering Inspiring Future Talent, GIFT, has given me the ability to fine-tune my amazing talents, illustrating them in an efficient resume, and presenting them in a convincing comeback story. Now that I have graduated, I am working with Kim Bissett and Antoinette Jones to inspire the next line of students. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me. I'm also working with my first run of the 12 Steps in DRA via our own surrogate sponsorship program, where I have learned to embrace the everlasting faith of a higher power. Through turning over my fears in this way, I've transformed myself in ways I've never thought possible. My miraculous story of recovery is but one of many, and I believe it only takes one small breeze to change the tide for mental health awareness. Thank you.
Hi, Vesper Moore here. I use they, them pronouns, and I am the director of the Zia Young Adult Access Center. So we've all been adapting during this pandemic, and we've been figuring out new ways to transform our connecting supports. And in the realm of young adult peer support, we have done so much to try to adapt and do the best for young adults in our community. And then one way that we have done this to really spread the message about we are still here, we are still with you, is we did a virtual tour on our YouTube channel, which you can check out the full thing at ziacenter@youtube.com. However, at this moment, we're going to show you 2 testimonials from young adults in our community. Check them out now.
Zia means community. Zia means having a place where youth liberation is at the forefront.
A place where I can go and be myself. A place where I can let my shoulders down, feel comfortable, take off my mask, be the truest form of myself that I always wanted to be.
Where youth voice is not only heard, but is met with enthusiasm and understanding.
Feel less alienated and just feel all around welcome. For me, it's like finally being free.
It is a home away from home. It is where you make friends, and those friends become family. I've built such genuine connections with people I cannot imagine life without. Zia also provides opportunities for growth and skill development, and having been lucky enough to become a peer leader, I get to learn and work and give back in ways that make staying involved a no-brainer.
Mainly the people. I have a lot of great friends at Zia. and the atmosphere is just very positive. I feel very welcome. I get to speak with people about things I usually don't get to speak with on the street towards other people that I'm trying to meet. I just don't feel like I'm excluded. I feel more included than anything, and I love that.
What has changed for me since coming to Zia? My entire life, really. I've made connections with people I plan to be friends with for the rest of my life. I've been able to openly express my feelings and be met with genuine curiosity and kindness. I've been surrounded by love and support at every turn, and it has made my life so much more meaningful and fulfilling. Now I get to give back to Zia by being a volunteer peer leader, and it is beyond rewarding. I am forever grateful.
I've definitely made a lot more friends. I feel like I definitely belong. I have more of a purpose, and I definitely feel like I can do some good around. So that's one thing that has changed in my life. Other than that, I feel like I'm much more vocal than I used to be. It just feels all around comfortable, like I could be my best self.